stuck with me for the past couple of days, thank you. For those who decided to unsubscribe from my channel and not follow me on Twitter and all that, I just say, if you don't wanna, for lack of a better term, if you don't want to hear the truth, that's your problem. That lied. When the Bible says that non-Messianic Jews worship Sikut and Kiyun, what else do you expect the Bible to say? I'll read you that verse again, and you can try to dispute me, but you're not disputing me. It says, Gamaliel said, you might be disputing God. So, let's go and see what the passage says. This is Amos 5:21-27. Long passage. Hang with me. I utterly loathe your festivals. I take no pleasure in your solemn assemblies. If you offer me burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them, nor will I consider the peace offerings of your stall-fed cattle. Spare me the noise of your songs. I don't want to hear the strumming of your lutes. Instead, let justice well up like water, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Did you bring me sacrifices and offerings in the desert 40 years, house of Israel? No, but now you will bear Sikut as your king, and Kiyun, your images, the star of your God, which you made for yourselves, as I exile you beyond Damascus, says Adonai Tezvaot. That is his name. And so when I say the non-Messianic Jews worship Sikut and Kiyun, which like I said before, which I really had to think about, as I said, when the Bible says, but you will now bear Sikut as your king, and Kiyun, your image is the star of your God, which you made for yourselves, there's nothing that anyone can say but that non-Messianic Jews worship Sikut and Kiyun. And let's look at this week's Parsha, which is Shemot. Let's go ahead and go to Shemot 3 really quickly, because there's a couple important verses here I want to read. This is important. I'm starting at verse 3. Moshe said, I'm going to go over and see this amazing sight and find out why the bush isn't being burned up. When Adonai saw that he had gone over to see, God called to him from the middle of the bush, Moshe, Moshe. He answered, Here I am. He said, Don't come any closer. Take your sandals off your feet, because the place where you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your father, he continued, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov. Moshe covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Adonai said, I have seen how my people are being oppressed in Egypt, and heard their cry for release from their slave masters, because I know their pain. I have come down to rescue them from the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that country to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the place of the Canaanite, Hittite, Amori, Perizzi, Hivi, and Yesuvi. Yes, the cry of the people of Israel has come to me, and I have seen how terribly the Egyptians oppress them. Therefore, now come, and I will send you to Pharaoh, so that you can lead my people, the descendants of Israel, out of Egypt. Let's look at a couple key verses that I just read. It says, the angel of Adonai appeared to him in a fire blazing from the middle of a bush. Okay, that's verse 2, but that's important. And it says in verse 4, when Adonai saw that he had gone over to see, God called to him from the middle of the bush. Look back at verse 2. The angel of Adonai appeared to him in a fire blazing from the middle of a bush. Go back to verse 4. When Adonai saw that he had gone over to see, God called to him from the middle of the bush. And that's I guess what you call verse 4a. Or maybe verse 4a to 4b, depending on how you want to number it. But anyway, and I can't emphasize this enough, the angel Adonai appeared to him in a fire blazing from the middle of the bush. He looked and saw that although the bush was flaming with fire, yet the bush was not being burned up. When Adonai saw that he had gone over to see, God called to him from the middle of the bush, Moshe, Moshe. He answered, Here I am. The angel of Adonai appeared to him. When Adonai saw that he had gone over to see, God called to him. Those two parts of that verse are making very clear that the angel Adonai and God are the same. And I'm going to continue this in the next part. I gotta go, but just think about that for a minute.